Well, good morning, church. It's Kevin Duclairon again, and I'm not exactly sure what is going on this American continent with your government and your police department. I'm still being beaten like a slave in my own home and sexually abused every day. It is Friday the 29th of January, and every single day this week, like last week, the last video was Kevin Duclairon falls into the snare of condemnation because of this right here, right? They came into the apartment on Sunday and they took my socks, and they took my socks. It's Friday, and they took my socks and they took my information from this computer while I was asleep last night. But every single day that they come in here, it's cuts and piercings and sexual assault. 3 times a day, they're gassing the apartment and giving me oral sex that I did not ask for. I'm having to haul to Taboo or wherever for food that I get from the church or from homeless shelters or whatever, and I have to go give them oral sex. Or sometimes I'll go online and take their pictures. This is a community that I did not ask to know. I did not ask to associate with when I came into this country to become a naturalized citizen. This Haitian family has taken it upon themselves to refamiliarize themselves with my life when the government had removed them. This John MacArthur has assisted and helped this woman. This is the community that I've been dealing with out of Grace Community Church I've been dealing with him out of Grace Community Church for the last, 18 years or so. And this is the woman that he's used to hurt me, to beat me, because back in 1985, they were the people who had extended a hand to bring me into the country, but then the relationship ended. I went back to my own country in 93 and decided to come back on my own in 93. So I don't actually have an obligation to these people. I don't understand the government's position. I wake up in the morning and I'm still finding cuts. See, top of my head here, this is the second cut. Right above here is a dent. Right there, there's a dent there. They took a piece of wood about that looks like this and 3 times as thick as this to hit me on the head with it to cause me the dent. Now they come in with an X-Acto knife and they cut me right here, right? So somebody in the European world, and I suspect it's MacArthur and the gay community, in the European world is using this Haitian woman to literally hit me and judge me by their homosexual standards. This morning I woke up and I knew they'd been into the apartment. I knew that they'd come into the apartment to assault me. I don't need a white man sucking my dick. I don't need a black woman like Gabrielle Franklin from Haiti sucking my dick and hitting me and using me and abusing me. And those of you that are watching this are probably, if you're the church, you're either frustrated and angry at what they're doing against me because this is Christian persecution. I want to show you something here. This is the European that's been assaulting me in this establishment. That's his congregation, and that's his property. This is the European. This is the man. This is what I call these Europeans to, right? I call them to repent, right? Repent. And I told them to go home. And the verse that I quoted is 1 John 3:4. Everyone who practices sin also practices lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. Right? And right above his head is the word stop sinning. Right? I've been telling this European to stop sinning for how many years, church? How many years have I been telling that European to stop sinning? Now this morning I wake up and I take a shower, and right here, you can't probably see it. looks, it's completely bruised, this area, because they've given her, or he took a plank to hit me here on the shoulder. You understand? And it's almost like I'm a sleeping man. I'm a minister. This woman and her family has been abusing me since I was a child. You understand? Since I was 9 years old when I came into this country. I'm 44. Now she's being helped by the European clan. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the bastard child of a who knows what sort of a man he is, right? If I could, I'd beat him just as much as they've beaten me. Him and her. Because behind him is that Haitian woman. You understand what I'm saying? And I am sick and tired of these people beating on me like I'm a slave. I'm not their slave. I live in an establishment, every establishment that I've lived in this country since '93. Okay, I don't belong to Gabrielle Franklin and her family. I don't belong to their sons. There's no reason why that these people should have access to any establishment that I live in. It's not just here at Gretchen Kafour Commons. It was the previous establishment before that, the previous establishment before that, going all the way back to 1990 when I moved here to the West Coast. I mean, my shoulder now is beginning to hurt. I didn't notice it earlier. And when I was taking a shower, this is swollen. You can't see it on the camera. This is swollen. This entire area is swollen from this area. It's swollen and it's red. You know that when you hit the flesh, it doesn't bruise right away. But over the course of time, the bruising shows. Right? I don't need this, Grace. And I'm talking, this is Grace. I don't need this. I don't need the abuse from him and from her. And from the homosexuals who represent her, whether they're Jews or whether they're Mexicans or whether they're blacks, the homosexuals who represent these people. You've got pastors who have homosexuals that look like them talking to me through homosexuals that are out there. I'm not a homosexual. I'm not with that. That's why I take pictures. I don't take the people. I take the picture. I don't take the people. I didn't take the community. I took the church. I don't know how many years I have to sit here and regurgitate the shit to you people. And I'm talking to them and him and them. I don't want it. I don't want his genitals. I don't want his ass. I don't want his daughter. I don't need this here. I don't need somebody coming in here and beating me on my shoulder or cutting me on my forehead or hitting me on my forehead. I don't need that. Or cutting me here on my arm. It's probably healed by now, but you know, or on my leg. I don't need it. So my suggestion to you for 2016 is, we need to do this. This man and his people gave me a 4-page letter, and they're still here in the background as I'm talking to you. They're still here, and they're on this property, hiding in the back while I'm talking to you. Both him and her. She's in her 90s, and he's in his 70s. I don't need this. I don't need this either, or this. I don't need the cut on my head. I don't need the pain in my shoulders. I don't need the scar on my face. This is how it began with her. This was her first car in the 1970s. This was her doing. And now this is where it's at in 2000. What are we? 16. 1970s, 2016. My father's house don't need this shit. We're free from this woman. When I went back in 93, that was it. How many times do I have to go back? How many times do I have to leave the country? How many times do I have to leave the country? I left the country to go to Europe. I left the country to... How many times do I have to leave? I left the country to go live in another country. When do I get free from this Haitian woman and this European here? When? How many times do I have to get hit? He's not a Christian. That's a devil right there. That's Jim Jones. And that's the People's Church.